Hi again. Thanks for the comments about the fruit juice thing for kids. I hope that made sense. I'm just going to do another video just to talk about the fruit thing. Just so we've got some clarity on that. I sort of touched on it last time, but I want to sort of give my opinion on the whole fruit thing. Just to make it clear really, so you can differentiate between, you know, when they say natural and whatever else. So the question we tend to get asked a lot of, does fruit make you fat? Now it depends. I think it's too simplistic, as most things are with nutrition, to say no or to say yes. I think, because certain people, I mean, when I was at my absolute leanest, about 12 stone 10, 12 stone 9, I was eating quite a bit of fruit. So, and it was, you know, quite a bit of fruit. It was 4 or 5 apples a day at one point. So I think it's one of those where it's a fine balance between just being very simple and also giving, you know, good advice. Because I think for some people, particularly if you're trying to get down to quite low levels of body fat, then, or you're getting some stubborn areas, then potentially fruit could be causing the problem, because of the fact that a lot of people are carbohydrate sensitive anyway, and fruit obviously being sugar. And the second thing to consider is a point I was making yesterday regarding the fruit sugar fructose. While fructose is natural, it's not designed, human beings are not designed for excessive fructose consumption. It's not something that we've done. When I say excessive, what I'm talking about is the amount of fruit that we eat nowadays. So it's not like when somebody says they're going on a diet and they eat fruit, they eat a lot of different types of fruit, particularly like more sugary tropical fruits, which aren't designed for the majority of human beings in terms of consumption at the levels that we do with them, particularly like the smoothies that have got 72 blueberries in them, 3 apples and 1 banana. I mean, you just would not eat that much sugar and fructose sugar in one sitting. You would not do it. It's not something we've done through history. Another thing I do say about fruit, actually, I wrote a blog on this, is try to think of fruit in terms of local. Try to think of fruit in terms of what we would eat in the country that you live in. So for example, we're in the UK. In the UK, you know, native fruits to the UK are apples, pears and berries mainly. They're what our native fruits. So, you know, they're quite low sugar, whereas in the tropics, obviously they've got papaya and whatever else. What we tend to do is that we tend to eat a lot of fruit from everywhere. So you're eating a Florida orange in December. You know, where would you have got that from, you know, 500 years ago, for example, if you don't live in Florida? So it's that notion of, you know, trying to keep it local as well. So particularly in the UK, you know, which is, you know, bulk of my audience really, you want to try and keep it in terms of those particular style of fruits there. The third point with fruit is just to remember that whilst, you know, forgetting the first 2 points for a second, if you are trying to eliminate addictive foods like sugar and flour from your diet and things that can really cause problems, because they're the 2 main ones that can cause you the main problems, then take, you know, if you're using fruit to get over those things, don't take things too literally. You know, a banana is better than a chocolate bar. A banana is better than a piece of bread. Once you get to a certain point though, potentially, what got you here won't get you there, so you need to adjust your diet accordingly. So if you are eating, say, 2 bananas a day, you'll get to a point when that might have to change. If you are eating 3 apples a day, 2 oranges a day, that might have to change. So it's looking at those sort of things and taking it as a more holistic approach and working with somebody that can guide you through. So can fruit make you fat? It can, and it can make you fat because of the way fructose is metabolised in the body, but it won't always mean that, you know, you're going to get obese from eating fruit. It just means you've got to be careful individually about your particular goals and how fruit fits into that. And the key message, can you live without it? Yes, you can. So it's not an essential nutrient to you. If you do need to eat fruit, go for the ones that have got the most sort of antioxidants, the most benefit to them. And normally those are things like berries. Berries are very antioxidant rich. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, things like that have got the most sort of antioxidants in them. And then very low sugar fruits like apples, you can get them seasonally. Try and go organic if you can because of the pesticides. So that's a little bit, I hope that makes sense on the fruit side. So don't let anybody tell you, yes, fruit definitely makes you fat. No, it doesn't. It's not as easy as that. It's not as simple as that. But definitely, if you stick to those basic rules, only eat fruit that comes from the country that you're in, and try and get it in season or an organic way you can, you should sort of look after yourself a bit better there, because you don't want to get stuff that's frozen, that's been crushed. And definitely stay away from any sort of manufactured fruit product, smoothies and juices. Anything that has to tell you it's natural and anything that has to tell you it's one of your 5 a day is not good for you. So just remember those principles when you're eating the fruit. Hope that makes sense. Any questions, let me know, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.